Hey there, people. How's it going? Welcome back to ESA Winter 21. We are raising money for Alzheimer Fonden. Links to donate can be found below the stream. And talking about donations, we actually got a few here, just to quickly start off this awesome run here. Quickly gonna wrap it through this. So we got Peanut, $7.50. Have a fun week, everyone. We got Ibaka-sama, $50 without a comment. Thank you very much. We got Fruity Waffles, also $50 for safe, with the comment save the turtle, smiley face for the next run, the messenger. Flipper Das, $25. Let's reach 12k, which we already did, by the way. Got some hype in chat. 12k, let's go. We also got Jimmy Jam, $121. Here's my donation from the Fury race. It was super fun. Thank you for keeping your word there. And to start us off here, we got Naomi, $25. Good luck, Muffin. It's great to see you in a European event and for such a great cause. Time to see how fast Espeon can save the forest. Smiley face. Also, real quickly want to thank our sponsors, Koei Tecmo, and their newly released game Neo 2, the complete edition, Twitch, and ViewSonic. And yeah. That's it. I hope you're excited. Look forward to this run. Covert, take the stage, my friend.
All right. Hello, ESA viewers. My screen name is Covert Muffin. I've speedrun a bunch of different things. Yesterday, I did Hyperlight Drifter as well for the marathon. Today, though, we're going to be showcasing off Ori and the Blind Forest Randomizer. This is run on the definitive edition of the game, so we are going to be seeing Blackroot burrows and extent. But also, we're going to be doing the category specifically, forest trees on standard logic, with clues as sort of an extra bit of a mode to help us out. We'll be explaining that as the run getting started. I want to say that this is a randomizer, and so I have not seen this seed before if you have seen various other randomizers done before, so I'm going into this pretty much blind. But that being said, helping me out on commentary are two of my good friends, Shafe and Aiko. Hello, folks. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hey, I'm doing great.
Awesome. That being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. So I will be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. All right. So in Ori and the Blind Forest, this is a 2D Metroidvania game. So basically, as we find certain skills, as you see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, there is a tracker. And so that tracker is going to be showing you as I variously find skills. But the pickups in the randomizer are what is randomized. They are all in the same location for grabbing the pickups, like this EXP orb here. But instead of being an EXP orb, it indeed was our first skill, which is going to be Grenade. And we'll be talking about that later. It's going to be incredibly useful and versatile skill as we progress through the rando.
Yeah, it's great first find.
Yes. But leading through the randomizer, the goal is to start and finish the final escape itself. However, even if I got the skills and the Sunstone to be able to get access to Mount Horu, we actually have an additional constraint so that we get to go and explore more of the map to make it interesting. And that is going to be visiting and activating every single skill location, which there are 11 on the map. And this is our first one, which is not randomized, which is Sign, which is basically going to allow us to attack things. But that being said, Shafe, could you talk about Altar really quick as I do it right now?
Yeah, so Altar, if you're familiar with Link to the Past, Randomizer is basically the sort of save and quit function of the game. It's a return to start. It is designed to prevent soft locks because we are probably going to be going to areas with skills where we can't get out. And also, it's just sort of a nice little fun feature to speed things up a little bit. And as Muffin was alluding to, just to make another little quick comparison, you can kind of consider forest trees to be the get 7 crystals to enter Ganon's Tower. As sort of an equivalent. So wall jump, the second skill, we are looking for additional resources as well, keystones in order to be able to access glades, little underwater swim there. Some nice experience, that's going to be useful. It's going to give him a whole bunch of ability points, which he's going to use one right now. We're going to jump right into the most important trick in the game, probably save anywhere. You can see he opens up the ability menu. We trick the game into thinking that we have closed it, but we haven't, so we can move, and then when we level up an ability, we save. As we cross a cutscene trigger, in this instance, reload the game, and we have skipped the cutscene. There are various other uses for save anywhere. That is the predominantly useful one that we're going to be seeing throughout the course of the run, but we will talk about some other potential usages as they come up.
Yeah, so a really important thing to like bring focus to is that saving the game is going to be a really important element in this game. It's going to allow us to do a bunch of different sequence breaks if I am like starved on certain skills. So like getting access to certain areas or doing like various poison swims, yada yada yada. It's all made easier just simply because we can save the game. As this orb is not dropping, there we go.
So this orb is the tool that you use in this dark area, and once you pick it up, it will fly back to you after waiting around for a bit, and it makes some platforms disappear and other platforms appear, and there's a lot of really interesting puzzles, and we are going to skip about half of them just because we have that Alt-R ability, and when you have that, you can touch the orb once and then just leave right away, as we saw Muffin do right after he got that pickup.
Here's the tough jump. Nice, they got it. Okay, that was one of the things I was most scared about because I always get a lot of stage fright, so like my hands are shaking. And that jump to get across that platform is pretty precise, so I'm relieved. But luckily in Ori, as is pretty similar in a lot of different modern day like platformers, is that there are coyote frames. Oh nice, we just got glide, which will be useful in a late game area. But the main reason why I'm coming into here in Blackroot Burrows initially is because I didn't find 2 keystones in the initial 4 pickups to be able to get access to glades. And so you can sort of think of this as I was gated by a form of progression. So you'll hear the word progression a lot as we go through. But our first bit of progression was indeed wall jump, which allowed me to jump up a single wall to get into here. So the next bit of progression has to be in this area, which we haven't quite found yet. But that's okay. We will end up finding it soon.
Yeah, so what we're looking for here is either 2 keystones to get access to glades or a teleporter that is going to get us access elsewhere. And Muffin is constantly going to be considering logic, and logic and progression are sort of tied together in terms of what the seed expects you to be able to do with the skills you have, and also what you can do that's out of sequence, as he alluded to. So we don't have those keystones, we don't have another teleporter, so he's hard gated right now into coming into Blackroot Burrows. This being a sequence break here just gets him some experience. The logic does not expect you to get past those crushers. And so, again, just to allude to Link to the Past randomizer quickly, it's sort of like if you get the bow, you know that you can finish off Eastern Palace kind of deal, right?
Yeah. Aiko, do you want to really quickly talk about EXP values and what they can potentially mean?
Yeah, sure. So we'll see Buffin pickups that have experience on them. There's a little bit of an interesting quirk with how experience is distributed among pickups, in that there is a total amount of experience that you can find in the seed, and larger numbers were placed later by the items, by the item placement system. So that thing that we saw very early where Muffin got 4 levels up at once, getting a pickup that was underwater, that actually tells us a little something, and it means that the pickup that normally would put that underwater pickup in logic, which is clean water, won't be something that we'll find for a fair bit of time, because there was a huge amount of EXP there, which limits how early that pickup can be found in logic.
Exactly, yeah. So, like, also I found, so where, if you saw me jumping above some crushers a little bit earlier, I found an EXP value of 58. So that doesn't necessarily guarantee that I could find a skill known as dash, but that's a good indicator that there is a higher probability that I will end up finding dash somewhere in the early to the middle of a seed, potentially.
Yeah.
And dash is a very useful pickup. So I am sort of keeping track of all of these little bits of information of, because I just know like various pickups and stuff that I will be checking of what that may or may not mean for the logic. And that's really important, a really difficult sort of skill with speed running a randomizer in general, is compartmentalizing all that information without confusing yourself.
Yep. Speaking of logic, Muffin, oh wow, just picked up the Forlorn Teleporter. That isn't in logic, luckily enough, but we did actually find another teleporter earlier, which is the Grotto Teleporter. Shafe, do you want to talk a bit about teleporter pickups and how they change how you have to play seeds?
Yeah, so teleporters are like what Muffin just stood on right there, and there are waypoints in the game essentially, and sometimes they can be considered in access for logic. Like he doesn't have keystones right now in order to be able to get to glades, so that teleporter is actually Muffin's only bit of progression right now, so he has to go to Grotto. For in later game, he's going to be looking for Valley Teleporter or Sour Teleporter in order to be able to speed up the seed, but that is also one of the functions of the randomizer and can be considered logical progression. So we're going to see him go into Grotto right now. He's got one tree activated out of the 10 that don't include sign for the Forest Trees goal mode. And Muffin, you're thinking pretty much primarily about access to your first 4 trees right now.
Yeah, exactly. So with routing and randomizer, as we sort of explained with like progression and logic, basically the logic of the seed just means that every single time I start a seed, it is guaranteed to be finishable. There's no, oh shoot. Could you talk about that while I just try and salvage it?
Yeah, so the item placement in the game is guaranteed to be the items are placed in such a way that we guarantee that the seed will be completable as you follow certain rules. Muffin's actually loading a backup here because there is a trick that saves a bunch of time. It's actually enough time that he is going to want to be doing it this way. But because the logic is completable, whenever you're guarantees the game to be completable, whenever you're going through the game and trying to find more abilities and more pickups to increase the number of things you can check, it makes sense to check the things that are considered in logic first, because you are guaranteed to find at least something in that set of pickups that'll be useful.
Yeah, so there I just failed a trick where the bridge was supposed to pop me up, but I ended up saving the game a little bit too late into the cutscene, so I didn't get enough height. Technically, those pickups are out of logic, but if I find, like, 2 keystones up there or another skill, that is going to significantly speed up the seed. And if I just Alt-R'd there and just gone back to Grotto TP, I would have not been able to jump across the gap. So, for marathon safety, I just decided to backload about a minute into the seed. And that's fine. I'm totally okay. The estimate more than accounts for little mess-ups like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of logic, that bridge actually is a common nightmare for players trying to learn the logic, because of the way the save tricks around the bridge work, you can actually get the bridge stuck in a couple different states. There's 2 different kinds of open bridge and 1 kind of closed bridge, and the logic actually assumes that it's all 3 at once, based on whichever would be most inconvenient to you to avoid a soft lock. There, it looks like Muffin got the timing right. And you'll see him fly up in the air as this bridge reopens, and he has control because we saved after the cutscene started, and now we're doing this area basically backwards in terms of reward progression.
Yeah. So these 2 pickups that he's getting right now are going to be out of logic, but he's going to cut back to the left and drop down, come back into logic. He does have 2 keystones though, so this does open up the opportunity if he wants to go into glades. Which wouldn't necessarily...
I am going to do that, yeah.
Yeah, because it's very likely, even though those pickups are out of logic, you're probably getting keystones here anyway, which would open up glades for you. So there's a few pickups here as well that are locked by verticality, and you would like to come in here with at least a double jump as well in order to be able to check a few more pickups. So another reason, you know, we were talking about sort of like pickups per minute and item density and trying to get as many things as possible. In the shortest time frame, that's sort of one of the things that he's considering.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is, if I don't, I almost just died. That's okay. I'm fine. I totally have never died there before.
No.
So I am going to do this mini boss. I will grab Quick Flame before it though, because that does save a lot of time. Oh no, I have grenades. I don't need.
Yeah,
to do
you
this.
I was gonna say you got lamp breakage too with grenade.
Yes. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, almost got it, is I'm trying to get a grenade to explode right in his face. There, I got him. And if I time this perfectly, it'll end up reflecting the shot right back into his face. And that saves a bunch of time. But if I don't find a keystone here, I'll just Alt-R and go into glades, because the density is worth it, even though I know... Okay, I did. Oh, shoot, I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will backload. Cool.
Yeah. And there's an autosave right when you finish that boss fight, so he does not lose much time at all by doing that.
Fight, no.
Yep.
So another reason that Muffin is interested in pursuing all the trees, in addition to having the goal mode of needing to do it, is that in order to sort of speed up the process of the randomizer, one of the things that we've included is a clues mode, which is whenever you activate 3 trees, again, not including sign, you are given a clue to a randomized dungeon key location. So to get access to Ginzo or Forlorn or Horu, and we are hoping to get Watervein clue first, but that is not necessarily guaranteed. So what Muffin's doing here is we were talking about sort of pushing 4 trees early on that he has access to with fairly minimal skills, those being wall jump, charge flame, dash, which he already has, double jump, which he's on his way to right now. So this will be his second tree, and then he'll go to either charge flame or wall jump to get the third tree, which will give him a clue to where one of the dungeon keys is at. And it's worth noting he did pick up the Forlorn teleporter. You can go there right now. It will be considered out of sequence because the teleporter, funnily enough, is not considered to be in logic until you also have the dungeon key. So he could go there for memes, but probably won't.
Yeah, so Forlorn is one of the only areas in the entire game that doesn't actually have a skill location or a skill tree associated with it. And so we're going to be avoiding that. Also because the density of the pickups in there is not great. So we do want to not go there unless we find out that Sunstone or Watervein is indeed buried there.
Yep.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So here we're going to see Muffin using that grenade skill that he got at the very start of the game to break open these blue walls. It's one of 3 skills that can do it, and at this logic difficulty, it's one of 2 skills expected to be able to use to do it. But it gives a lot of access. Grenade is the better of the 2 skills that can that are what we refer to as blue breakage. So Muffin's happy to have that. And this is that 3rd tree, and we got our first clue. The water vein is in Sorrow Pass.
All right, that's actually really good news because I have Glide, and so Glide as a skill drastically simplifies Sorrow Pass in general. So very relieved that I do have Glide, but I've done like hundreds, if not thousands, of seeds, and so I'm completely comfortable doing Sorrow without Glide strats if I absolutely have to. Oh, okay, there. All right.
So Shafe, you want to talk about power skills?
Yeah, I was just about to get into that. The first 4 trees, as we've been sort of hammering in here at the early game, we only have access to those with like minimal skills, and we have some power skills in the game, most notably charge, jump, dash, and dash. And combinations thereof are going to give us access to other areas of the game, where other tree locations. And charge jump is considered to be one of the power skills. It is obviously the go up quickly button, and also it will break floors with some shenanigans and ceilings by jumping into them. It's got a damaging aura that allows you to do that, which is also going to be useful for Sorrow Pass potentially. We'll talk about that when we get there. So now, some of this has opened up here for Muffin, suffice it to say. And one thing I did want to talk about in conjunction with, power skills and blue break is that there is a out of logic way to break blue stuff with dash. And you'll notice that Muffin's actually been investing most of his points into the blue tree for that explicit purpose, as well as some other fun things that are later on in the tree.
Yeah. Another really nice thing about charge jump that's often underappreciated, it does 50 damage. This is a game where your normal attack does 2 damage, grenade will do 6, charge jump does 50 damage. You can hit anything with charge jump, you're going to have a good time, and it's not.
Yeah,
beautiful skill.
It also makes Ori pretty much invulnerable during the duration of that. There are still some things that can deal damage, but like creatures and stuff, you no longer take hit on collision with creatures, and that is like a really big deal in some areas.
Yeah, the iframes are wonderful.
One of the things I'm picking up on here, Muffin, is that you've got 11 ability points saved up, which is usually an indicator that dash is coming along for the purposes of air dash logic.
Yeah, it can. It definitely can. This is actually really, really nice for marathon safety. Right now I only have 3 health, which is a really scary number in Rando, because there are going to be a lot of things late game that deal 4 or 5 damage. So it's just instant death, 1-hit kill. So I am hoping to find some health cells, but having all of these ability cells definitely helps a lot. I'm realizing right now I missed like a single pickup that has bitten me a lot in the past. So what I'm going to do is actually backtrack for it. That I ended up losing, most of them were because of this one single pickup. So if something actually ends up being here, I'm going to start laughing hysterically, but also maybe crying a few tears as well.
One key thing about getting charge jump here actually is that you don't have to go through Spirit Caverns to get to this pickup, which would cost you 4 keystones, and resource management is pretty key in going fast in Randomizer. So now, if you, say, get Climb, and you can go to Sorrow to get the Water Vein, you're going to have those extra keystones to be able to open up the doors in Ginzo. So it's a nice little time save for you to be able to have that right now, in addition to all the ability points that you have.
Yep. And now I'm going to check another one of these little pickups around the spawn area. This is technically reachable with just Grenade, but it's not in logic until you have Grenade and some kind of ability to go up, which that charge jump will unlock, and it's going to put him up to 12 ability points, and now he's going to head back to Grotto. And with Grenade, Glide, and Charge Jump, you can get almost everything in Grotto.
Yeah, it's yeah. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to head over. Actually, I don't know if I want to do this because I only have 3 health. I guess I'll do some Zombie Oris. Okay.
Yeah.
So what a Zombie Ori is it's another sort of like save manip that we can do. Oh no, I don't have to. Oh, that's nice because of Glide. Okay, that's cool. Never mind. But if you end up taking a death, and if you just save the game right after you die... Oh, there's Bash.
That's
okay.
huge.
All right, there we go.
This is maybe not quite go mode because we might want some health for marathon safety, but Bash is the best skill in the game. It is a skill unique to the Ori series. It is, you grab a projectile and you throw it in one direction and Ori in another direction. Projectiles include things like those grenades. So now Muffin has the Bash Grenade ability combination, which is incredible for movement. And because he has Bash and Charge Jump, there are a few other little neat things we can do. I think we'll see one right about here, actually.
Yeah. This is named after the person who found it, Hal. Not this not the double bashing. The thing he's going to do right here. Throw a grenade, hold the Charge Jump, and then bash down, and you can break the floor. Doesn't work on all of them. But it does work on quite a few very important ones, including most of the ones in Sorrow as well. So that's very nice to have. Double bashing is probably the central reason that Bash is incredibly broken in this game. Because you can, as Igo was saying, it's intended that you go one way, the thing that you're bashing goes the other way. But double bashing is where you bash on the next frame, and you go the same direction as the thing. So you can just chain it infinitely. So you can do so much with double bashing. It's absolutely ridiculous. So
yeah.
Some extra digging here, primarily for health, I would imagine. And then like convenience skills like double jump. Dash at this point is pretty much a convenience skill. And yeah, you can just start crushing trees here, bud.
Yeah. So yeah, like we keep mentioning that Bash is incredibly powerful, but just sort of to outline how insane Bash is as a skill in Rando is that you can get access to almost every single tree with just like wall interaction and Bash, and like that's it. That's like all you need. But like, there's like maybe 1 or 2 things on left side that you may not be able to do, but it is absolutely that insane. So I am going to do a little bit of extra digging for marathon safety, just because, but really I could just head to the left side of the map right now. But we're going to do like Grenade Tree and then probably like Upper Swamp Loop or something, and then head out.
That makes sense.
Okay, cool. All right, so for like Grenade Tree, we don't actually have the skills necessary to be able to break the floor. As we mentioned, J-Hal strats are excellent for like doing so, but I don't have what I need to be able to do J-Hal strats proficiently. So what I'll do is I'll accidentally hit him. I think that's still okay.
Yep,
Yeah,
you're okay.
Yeah. This is a careful operation where we bring this friend. This guy is actually it's sort of fragile because if you kill this enemy, he never respawns. He's actually just supposed to be there to die to the rolling boulder, but because Muffin glitched that earlier, he's still alive, and that means we can take him on a very long journey, make sure he doesn't touch any spikes, and get him to stomp this floor for us.
Hooray,
don't die.
funky friend. Safety
Okay.
save, yeah, I was just about
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah,
so,
I'm very glad. I ended up, so I saved up at that waypoint, which fully healed me. If I hadn't have done that, I would have taken a death there. And had to try that entire thing again. That's good. Okay.
Alright. Speaking of deaths, what we're going to do here is see Muffin do that zombie Ori technique we mentioned earlier, where he's going to run in here, he's going to take an intentional death to this laser, and then as he's...
I might have to. I might not.
Oh yeah, it's actually possible to do this without...
There we go.
Oh wow, yeah, there we go. With Bash Grenade, you can get through that movement. There's a backup strat that a lot of people are very familiar with doing called Zombie Ori, where you just save after dying. Here we see Muffin doing a lot of movement behind this ability point. It's very important that he keeps this up because he needs to be able to save right now and skip a 90-second cutscene that none of us want to watch.
nobody wants to watch that cutscene.
Yeah, so there's a big meme of like running cutscene percent, and so during one of the doubles tournaments that I participated in, our team name was Team Storytime for watching cutscenes.
So very importantly, that being Muffin's 6th tree, he has cleared out all the right side trees with the exception of the Bash skill tree and Ginzo. He got his 2nd dungeon key clue, so he's set. If he decides he wants to go to Forlorn and get an extra skill, he can, but he knows that the Sunstone's in Valley, and he knows that the Water Vein is in Sorrow, so now he has the knowledge of how to get access to all of the skill tree locations and the final dungeon of the game. So this is kind of just some cleanup resource pickups here. The 11 ability points, as you alluded to earlier, gives you a lot of safety if you need to do any sort of intentional death strats. But yeah, you have access now to left side with Bash Nade and more Funky Friend shenanigans.
Yeah, so I'm just coming over here in Upper Swamp Loop because it's a nice pick-up dense location with the skills I end up having. It's going to allow me to shore up a bunch of skills, or a bunch of pickups, excuse me, starting with this Frankie. So the other way that we could have gotten access to Stomp Tree is by doing double bashes with this frog here. You don't actually have to double bash it, but it's a little bit easier. And then what you do is you bait a shot down here, and then accidentally hit yourself with it. Oh no! Oh, that did not go according to plan. Okay.
Well, I mean, you have charge jump, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do. Whoops, you're right.
Muffin was just kindly showing off a technique that actually was invented by people playing the randomizer and got adapted into the all skills cutscene back in what would that have been, like mid 2018, I think, late 2017. I forget exactly when, but it's actually a really cool instance of randomizer strategies getting ported over to the actual speedrun of the game.
Boom. Okay. Oh,
Ah, nice. There you go.
All right, that's worth it. All right,
That
now
is-
I'm just gonna go.
Yeah. Muffin now has the best 3 skills in the game.
Yeah, the only thing is health for the final escape, basically, and you are good to go.
Yeah.
Or alternately, Ultra Defense, I suppose. Ultra Defense is the last node on the blue tree that Muffin has been dumping his points into, and again, one of the reasons we dump points into the blue tree is precisely for the event that we might need Ultra Defense, which is a damage reduction, basically, and
Yeah.
you need a minimum with, like, Bash, Dash, Stomp, and, like, basically the power skills in the game. You need a minimum 5 health to get through the final escape, because you'll be swimming through dirty water, unless, of course, he finds clean water. But alternately, you can just pick up Ultra Defense. So he has 5. It is technically possible for him to do it now, but it is still kind of in not fun territory,
Yep.
I would say.
And
Right.
Shafe mentioned that one of the reasons we go into that blue tree is for Ultra Defense. That is definitely true. There's also triple jump there that's amazing. But the real reason we go into the that tree is charge dash, which we're going to see in a bit. But for now, though, we're seeing Muffin doing a very intentional lure where he brings this Frankie up to stomp this post. If you do not do this lure, you need to either find Stomp or find a teleporter to get past the left side. That door that we're seeing open on the screen is the single barrier between the left and the right side of the map. So that trick that Muffin did is a really important trick to know if you are going to get into speedrunning or in the Blind Forest Randomizer, because it's really important to be able to get past this barrier with different skill sets.
And Sunstone, very nice. There's another save to heal there, and
Oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. Oh, not that.
not that.
I want to do this.
Oh, okay.
Ah, we're gonna get some
I see.
zombie swimming.
Don't
Yep.
see a whole lot of zombies running. That's neat.
Yep. Okay, so now that I have found Sunstone, which was really nice that I got the clue. This is one of the reasons why, especially for like the singles tournament, we actually ended up having clues be a primary mode, is because it is pretty consistent for being able to finish seeds in a certain amount of time if we need to. Because as like having the trees be sort of the forced progression in general, anyways. We have to get the trees anyways, and so we are always going to be able to get the clues necessary as I set up for a trick.
Yeah.
So here what I'm going to do is angle a shot, yeah, that looks good, away from that spider. Oh, just I'm going to try and do a backup. Oh, we got it, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, and then the spider shot's just going to travel through space with that like really precise angle. And because I moved far away fast enough, it actually deloaded a part of the level that would have hit the spider shot, stopping it from getting to the rocks. And then just destroying those rocks triggers this cutscene, which places Ori over here. And this is going to be our next skill location, which is Feather.
Yeah, and do you want to show Wilhelm off?
Oh,
right
yeah.
there?
Yeah, we'll do Wilhelm.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll do Wilhelm, and then we'll do something like Sorrow. Here I am going to check a few additional pickups down here, just simply for energy and health cells, if I find them, or even ability cells. Oh, that's when restored,
nice.
so that's even better. Okay, so that, like, very much simplifies this section as well. We'll do this for safety, because I don't have double jump. Cool. Okay, so here I just did a trick known as a rocket jump. Like, here's our good friend Wilhelm, which is an Easter egg.
I love it.
Good.
Yeah, so that frog does not spawn until you have the Sunstone, and it is Wilhelm, because if you knock him off the ledge, you get the Wilhelm scream. Hooray!
Yes. Boom. So up next, we're going to be going into Sorrow to be able to track... Oh, Wilhelm's back. So goodbye.
I will never get tired of that.
Yeah, no, me neither. But as I'm heading into Sorrow, we have Wind Restored, so it's going to be an easy entry. This is actually going to be an excellent time for donations. So if you have donations, why don't you go ahead and read off? Why don't we say like 3 to 5?
All right, perfect. Because they're starting to like line up over here.
Awesome. Okay, great.
You seem to have a lot of fans and friends here in the donation department. All right,
Oh,
let's
good.
see. Yeah, we got $5 from Lynette saying, "Good luck with the run, Muffin.
Hey.
I will be donating $5 more if we get to see Valley Long Swim, and another
Oh, no.
5 if we stay true to Team Forlorn." Winky face.
Oh boy. Okay, maybe one of those because I have Forlorn TP. It'll take about like 2 minutes, but I think that should be okay. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm sorry if we don't get to do it, Lynette, but I'll see. All right, keep going.
Sure, we got $10 by Ontos saying, "Just contributing my 1 XP. Remember, it all adds up. Good luck, Muffin." We also
Yeah, thank you.
got $5 from Rini saying, "I've been out of work and just started working again, but love what you guys are doing and elated to see some great runs this weekend. Thank you very much." We got some more here.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, we got $20 by Sunny Muffin saying, "Ori Rando, best Rando." One more.
Yeah, go for it. One more.
All right, $10 by Nyara Saur.
Hey, no, sorry. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, that was good.
Saying another $10 for a good cause and for the wholesome guy with the wonderful laugh. Good luck, Muffin.
Okay, awesome. There, I just got a skip. It looks like I got nothing, but I actually displaced myself through space. Like, if Bash wasn't powerful enough, I actually just basically teleported myself across the cutscene trigger by bashing at a really specific time. So that was good. That was really, really good. But as we mentioned earlier, we knew Water Vein was going to be in Sorrow. Fortunately, it was just straight at the charge jump tree itself. So that absolutely perfect.
Yeah, absolutely zero digging required. And he's jumping over another cutscene trigger here as well.
Yep.
I just wanted to briefly touch on there, because I don't think we did. Activating teleporters is as simple as standing on them briefly. So it kind of looked like Muffin was just sort of going in to that teleporter for no reason, but it was actually to activate it because he's going to want it later on to head to Mount Horu.
Yep. Now we have the Ginso Tree. The Ginso Tree is one of the two incredibly linear areas of the game. It is the dungeon where you get Bash in the original game, and it's a dungeon where you're only supposed to have double jump to navigate it. Muffin already has Bash. He also has the best verticality skill in the game, Charge Jump, so he's going to make incredibly quick work of Ginso and do none of it in the very intended ways. He's with a series of air dashes to get through this teleporter room. Air dash is actually in some ways the single best skill to have in that room, and here, instead of doing a lengthy redirection puzzle with one or two of these elbows, you just can bash that shot once and get over here to this first Ginso mini-boss.
Oh no, in the spikes.
Yep. That's okay.
It's
oh no, it's not okay.
Alright, so the mini-boss dies instantly because, as I mentioned earlier, Charge Jump does 50 damage, Charge Dash, which is that loud dash that we see Ori doing, does 20 damage and also doesn't make the Charge Jump hitbox go away. So Muffin did 70 damage with that first Charge Dash and then finished it off with another one very quickly.
Okay. Alright, Lynette, go ahead and send in your donation. I will do Forlorn Escape for you. I am one of the co-founders of a prestigious esports team known as Team Forlorn. All you have to do in order to qualify for Team Forlorn is finish Forlorn Escape without Glide. Oh wow, that's nice. So after we do Misty, we'll actually end up heading into and doing Forlorn Escape, which you normally don't see in a Seed, before I go to Mount Horu and finishing it off. But we're going to go into Misty first. Does one of you guys want to talk about Misty as an area in general?
Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, I was going to say you should do it because I don't actually speedrun the game.
Sure.
And,
Okay, well, basically, Misty Woods is a one-way street. Thanks to Alt-R, we don't have to do half of it, especially this being, Randomizer. We're only going for the tree anyway. We don't need to go get the Gumon seal because it's probably not there anyway, etc. so forth. So, Muffin's got a bunch of power skills. He's rocket jumping off this Frankie, doing some charge dashing, and bashing off things which refunds energy as you do it. And only picking up selective things because they progress Misty Woods by opening up other areas. It's basically a hallucinatory transitional area where you go to a thing and then your brain does weird things and blah, that's different. And now we continue on after looking at this torch, and we will be touching the last required tree and then doing some shenanigans for some extra money.
Yes. So that being said, one thing to mention about Misty in general is that it's one of the scariest places in a randomizer run itself, because if you don't have your 9th tree yet, you want to go to Misty last if you can in order to get that last clue as to where Watervein and Sunstone is. Because there is a pickup in Misty that requires Grenade. You cannot get it unless you have Grenade. So if you don't have Grenade and you go into Misty and then reach that tree and find out that Watervein or Sunstone is in there, you are in for a world of sadness and hurt.
Yeah, you basically have to Alt-R, go find Grenade,
Yes.
and then go back in and do all of Misty all over again.
Exactly,
Because
yes.
It's a one-way street.
Right,
It's actually
because when you exit it, it actually fully resets the area, and it's a little bit different on your second visit, but not by much.
Yeah.
But here is Forlorn Ruins. We're going to go ahead and do the escape, starting off with 2 save anywheres. Here's the first one. Oh no, we'll just do one. We'll just.
Yeah, the second one is pretty much.
Yeah.
We're doing some tiny little cutscene skips. One of the interesting things about Misty is that you actually can technically be forced into Misty in and out 3 times, just in this normal standard logic. I don't think anyone's actually seen it happen. And this is just sort of my counter argument whenever people say that the randomizer is cursed and specifically hates you. Because it really could be a lot worse.
It could force you to do Misty 3 times. I've had to do it twice, a couple times, but
I think my highest number of Misty re-entries was 4. I think somewhere around there. Yeah, I think it was an open world seed or something like that.
Open world tour.
But here is Forlorn. I love that cutscene of the spinning stones around the center. It is absolutely my favorite, as well as my favorite soundtrack in the game. So thank you, Lynette, for donating towards this.
Yeah.
Alright,
The
remember,
actual-
you can't use Glide.
Yeah. But that being said, as I'm just going through Forlorn Escape, if you have more donations, go ahead and read them off.
Sure, in the meantime, we got a few more here. So,
Great.
we got Felix with $10 saying, "Go Muffin!"
Hey. Yo, thanks, Felix. Felix was on couch. Ooh, whoops. On couch for one of my GDQ runs, so it's awesome to hear from you. Thanks, man.
Nice. We also got $5 from Scopex, I believe,
Hey, Scopex. Yep.
saying, "Hi Muffin, good luck on your run and let's donate to this awesome foundation. Bless this run and let's go Team Forlorn." Covert one smile.
Yo, thank you, Scopex. All right. Why don't we say one more?
Perfect. We exactly have one more. $10 from Lynette, saying, "Staying true to my word and throwing another 5 on top. Team Forlorn /O/." Thank you all for
Awesome,
your
thank-
donations. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you so much. Thank you. Here's a really cool thing to actually show off. So here is the set plant, and it doesn't give you a pickup, but it gives you a clue as to where Stomp and Grenade are. Because in the randomizer, there are a few hard locked pickups, which means you absolutely need something in order to be able to check them. And those are usually gated by Stomp and Grenade. The rest of them usually can get around because Ori is a really well-defined and well-developed Metroidvania. There's the word.
Yeah.
So major shout outs to you, Moon Studios. I absolutely love this game so much. So here I have to rocket jump off that Frankie because there's an 18-second cutscene there that I don't want to watch that I skipped earlier. So just remembering to do that was nice.
Yep.
That's something I forget to do quite frequently.
What Muffin is doing here is making his approach towards Mount Horu, the final dungeon of the game, which we are going to see basically none of for various reasons. There are actually 2 different tricks that we can use to skip the entire dungeon. Muffin's probably going to be going for Door Warp. Shafe, can you talk to us about Door?
So you enter Mount Horu, and there's a cutscene that plays, and then you get an autosave, and then you reload the game, and if you press up on the first frame that the game loads, you warp places, and it turns out that this initial door right here warps you right to the end of the dungeon. So let's see if you guys would first try.
Got it, yep.
Nice. And goodbye, Mount Horu. So this is the final escape. This is Kuro, the antagonist of the game, who's going to be chasing us throughout this. It's split up into a few various different sections. Should not be a terribly difficult escape for Muffin. I think the only major quote-unquote thing that you're lacking is double jump, maybe, but you've got ways to get around that.
Like Sea Flame or Stomp would be nice, just some... Oh, as I die. Sea Flame or Stomp would be nice because it makes it a little bit easier to break floors. Oh, shit. And so I'm trying to, like, keep from spending my energy. Usually I just do a ton of charge dashes there in order to get through. But my best way of destroying those floors is with charge dash itself. And there is going to be 3 of these. So I'm going to try and... Okay, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Or... almost not. Okay, now we're good. Okay, cool. And so the reason why I'm really conserving my energy there as we come into the last leg is that I want to use one of these final fishes for something known as fish strats at the end. And so in this last room, it's usually really scary, but just doing a single rocket jump and then going across the trigger, that is going to bring us up into the last leg. So time is going to be coming up in about a minute and a half.
Yep.
Clap, 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 clap. But all I have to do now is watch a really pretty cutscene and hold a single button.
There's a really interesting video that one of the community members, Sigma, has put together that goes through minimal final escapes. So, like, just basic skill sets, stuff that's really, really, really difficult to do. And it's a great resource and a great way, in my opinion, to learn how to navigate the escape with a variety of different skills so that you don't have to, like, dig your way throughout the entire seed looking for absolutely everything in order to finish the final escape.
Yeah, and that being said, some major shout-outs. Immediately, Sigma was the one who originally developed the Rando, but Aiko has really stepped up to the plate a lot, as well as a lot of other community members. Isn't that right, Aiko?
Yeah, the Ori and the Blind Forest randomizer, honestly, in many ways was built by Sigma, and a lot of us just came on to building the project later. The Ori and the Will of the Wisp randomizer, which is the sequel to this game, has been an incredible community effort. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up for time call a bit. It's gonna be here in
And time.
yeah.
GG.
GG Muffin, well played.
GG.
Yeah, that was great. Like 100 pickups in 40 minutes is nice for a marathon run. Yeah, but that being said, like we have such a strong and supportive community. Exactly what Aiko has said, saying Will the Wisp randomizer still is in development, but it's amazing so far. So if you're interested in trying out either of these randomizers in general, they're free to play as long as you own the base game. Games for Ori because you need the definitive edition as well. But that being said, Aiko, where can we find access to those randomizers?
Well, you can learn all about the Ori the Blind Forest randomizer at orirando.com, and on that site there's also a link, orirando.com Discord, where you can join the Ori speedrunning community, and that is also the place to go to find out information about the Will the Wisp randomizer in beta.
Awesome. But that being said, Shafe and Aiko, thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, for sure. Major thanks to ESA for showcasing this run off in particular. This game really means a lot to me. And I also appreciate everybody who's donated so far and everybody who has been enjoying the marathon so far, because raising money for Alzheimer's Foundation, especially the Swedish branch, is a great thing to do. So thank you so much. Continue to get hype. We still have so many more days of this marathon, and I hope you enjoy the rest of it. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Muffin, thank you very much for this absolutely stunning run, I hope. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody in chat enjoyed this. It was great fun. Guys, stay tuned, because up next we have, in my opinion, a equally awesome game called The Messenger. Please stay here. We will just take a quick intermission. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. It's gonna be awesome. See you in a bit.